What's up, Silver Stackers? Thank you so much for being here. This is Silver Slayer. The fake Silver Stackers are creeping out of the woodworks, and silver sell-off is just getting started. For some reason, people have this game plan of buying high when all the hype is around silver, all the news articles, everyone's buying it. When it's at the high price, they buy it. But then, when the price starts to dip a little bit, and they see their investment in the red, they sell. That is the best way to lose money 100% of the time. Buy high and then sell it while it's low. That makes no sense. Makes no sense. It's supposed to be buy low, sell high. Buy the dips, sell the tops. But for some reason, people just let their emotions take over and they sell when their investment is in the red, when they could just hold on to their investment and wait till it goes back into the green. But they have this catastrophic mind state of, oh, it's just going to keep going down till it's $0. You know, they don't remember that, hey, silver was $11 in March of 2020. Little over 2 years ago, silver was $11, and then what happened? A year later, it was up to $30. Imagine if those people would have sold at 11, at the end of 2019 or going into the year 2020, they sold at, or they buy in at 20 something, and then they sell at 11, and then a year later it's up to 30, triple of what they sold at. That is the immediate perspective that a lot of people have for the markets. They can't step back and look at the bigger picture. When people were selling at $11, and yes, people were, I was telling everyone, use this as an opportunity to buy, because silver at $11 is a steal, and you will probably never get this opportunity again. People were hesitant. People were on the fence. A lot of people still sold at $11. And now look, and then in August 2021, a year later, they see the price at $30, and I bet they were sick to their stomachs, saying, how silly was I to sell at $11? Same situation is going to happen right now. All these people are selling at $19.22, but within a year or so, when the price is double this, who knows what the price will be in the next couple of years, triple, quadruple, they are going to feel sick to their stomachs. There's a reason why fake stackers versus real stackers always get exposed during this time frame, right? The real stackers and the fake stackers always start to part ways when things get bad, because the real stackers look at this price and say, heck yeah, I get my silver for cheaper. I get to lower my dollar per ounce average. This is great. This is awesome. The other person is saying, what did I do? What did I get myself into? I got to sell right now. This was a mistake. Glass half full, glass half empty. So anyways, before we jump into this article talking about how the sell-off is just getting started, which means the price is probably going to go down even more, I wanted to share something. BullionMax.com has a 5-gram Volcambi bar right now. It has a $25 premium, but on Thursday, this bar will be sold at spot. So whatever spot price is, this bar will be sold for. So this $25 premium is out the window, whatever spot price is. But that's only for the first 100 new customers. If you've already purchased the starter kit before, you can't purchase this, or if you are a new customer that's after 100. So it's the first 100 new customers, but they still want to help out people that have already purchased the starter kit. So after that, they still will have a deal on this bar. It just won't be at spot, but it still will be at a discount if you are someone who's already purchased the starter kit. Now, if you haven't purchased the starter kit either, you better jump on ship, ladies and gentlemen, because we're talking about 5 ounces of high premium silver at below employee pricing. Now, some people say, well, the price isn't that good, and that's because they're looking at this as 5 ounces of just like generic. They're not realizing American Eagles have $10, $15 premiums. The new Britannias with the new security feature, these coins have high premiums. If you were to add every one of these coins individually in your cart and see what the price would be compared to just this 5-ounce deal, you would see the difference. A lot of people don't understand, these aren't just coins that are sold as generics. It's not just 5 generic ounces. We're talking about coins that have hefty premiums. So yeah, if you want to take advantage of any of those deals, then head over to Bullion. That is on Thursday, so only a couple days away. Now, silver price prediction. Sell-off is just getting started. I also like how they're going to throw a prediction here. But remember, anytime people are going to throw predictions out, you got to take it with a grain of salt, because a wrench could get thrown in, makes the markets way different than they are right now, or also the unknown variable that a lot of people don't incorporate. It's like the weatherman. You can't take price forecast predictions seriously. It's just an idea. So silver price has continued its bearish trend in the past few days as investors price in lower demand and elevated supplies in the coming months. Silver's price, pair trading's at $19.31, which is about 35% below the highest point in January last year. This price action is in line with that of gold, which has crashed about $1,740. So silver and the strong USD. Silver's price has been in strong sell-off for several reasons. First, the US dollar has continued its strong comeback as the Fed points more tightening. The dollar index surged to its highest point in over 20 years. In most periods, silver tends to underperform in a period when the US dollar is strong. Sadly, the tight labor market means that the bank will likely continue tightening in the coming months. Second, silver's price has retreated because of higher silver supplies. In the past few months, many silver mining companies have ramped up supplies to compensate for the falling prices, and these include companies like Fresnillo, Polymetal, Pan American Silver Corporation. Third, since silver is an industrial metal, its price has declined because of the rising recession risks. Most analysts believe that central banks like the Federal Reserve, European Central Bank, and Bank of England are pushing the world to a recession. Silver tends to underperform in periods of a recession. Now, a lot of these are like, it's going to be back and forth, because since silver is, has kind of this, I would almost call it like the best of both worlds. It's almost like a win-win situation, but since it's also a much smaller market than gold, it can also be used for the negative. It's like gold on steroids. But since, silver is not just a monetary metal, when there is a recession or when there is this a lot of, I guess, economic uncertainty where gold would almost, hold its value, or times where gold can shine, silver could, but it's also a little shaky since it's also used mainly for the industrial sector. But regardless, we know the dollar's strength isn't going to hold forever. The dollar is like a roller coaster, and that roller coaster at the end of the ride is falling off a cliff. But until then, the ride is still going to have some ups and some downs and some loops. But that roller coaster has, they didn't build the bridge that crosses over the path. It's going to crash completely. And, that's just the inevitable. It's not if, but when. So the second thing about silver mining companies ramped up supplies to compensate for falling prices. The statement's right in there, to compensate for falling prices. But what happens when the price picks back up? It's like this never ending, when the price falls, compensate, but when the price rises, back off. They're never going to catch ahead, because when the price rises, they'll back off. And then when the price lowers, they'll have to compensate for what they previously just tried to compensate for. It would make more sense if they tried to get ahead while the prices were high regardless, instead of just waiting for the price to drop again for them to ramp up production. You get what I'm saying? It's this weird situation, but it does make sense since silver's so cheap. Why not take advantage of other metals like gold that's 91 times more valuable? If you're trying to, if you're someone that's in a business, digging up 1 ounce of silver versus digging up 1 ounce of gold, the thing that's $1,700 instead of $20 makes more sense to go after at a 1-to-1 ratio. So anyway, silver price prediction. The daily chart shows silver's price pair has been in a strong bearish trend in the past few days. The metal has managed to move below the important support at $21.20, where it struggled moving below recently. The 25-week and 50-week moving averages made a bearish crossover pattern, while the Stochastic oscillator moved below the oversold level. It is also approaching the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement level. Therefore, silver price will likely keep falling as sellers target the key support at $18. A move below the resistance at $21.20 will invalidate the bearish view. Now, this is something else that I wanted to mention, and one of the words they said in there is critical for these fake stackers. All right, because remember, this video is focused about fake silver stackers. We're just kind of showing some context of what's happening, but I want to talk about the people that sell when things get shaky. Now, the word invalidate, and we could even switch it over to validate, validation. The reason that people buy high is because they are validated that the price can go higher. Just like most people buy Bitcoin when it's exploding, right? When it's up thousands of percent, that's when they buy it. But then when the price is down hundreds or thousands of percent, then they sell it. Same with silver. They need validation that the price can go up. True silver stackers don't need validation because we know it will, because we know silver's true value. Fake silver stackers don't. See, true silver stackers are going to buy at $19.22 because we are true to the metal. We understand the metal. We understand the market. We understand the dollar's true value. Fake silver stackers that got into this for the wrong reason, just to, a get-rich-quick scheme or whatever, they're going to sell right now because they have validation that the price is going to keep going lower, or they don't have that confirmation that it will go back up that true silver stackers do, that understand the markets and that do the research. Fake silver stackers, and this is what I always say, before you get into anything, always understand the market of it. You don't want to jump into something just because your friend told you to. If your friend mentions something, then research it. Look into it, look at the pros and the cons. Maybe just invest a very small percent at the time until you really understand more. Precious metals is the safest investment by far. So, if someone jumps in without really understanding, it's still safer than, I would say, cryptocurrency or stock markets. But still, you could see right here, most people lose money that buy silver. Most people do. And it's not from, the premiums and, okay, so we could definitely make an argument about this, and I'd love for you to participate in this conversation right here. Most people, in my opinion, lose money because they're not patient. They buy at $25. Let's say they bought in during the Wall Street silver movement at $30. But they were thinking within a year or two, silver would be at $500. But since it's not, they get out. They're not patient enough to wait 5, 10, 15 years. A lot of us are long haulers. I'm not selling for another 20 plus years. A lot of those people aren't that patient. They're not looking at silver as a preservation of wealth. They're looking at this as, hey, I'm going to put my money in right now, and with a couple of years, it's going to explode. That is a terrible way to invest, and that's also why I try to tell people, silver's not going to hit $100, tomorrow. And if it did, that would be extremely dangerous because that's way too fast. There's no stability at $50 or anything, and it would crash extremely hard. But the other reason, though, besides just being impatient, is people that buy, let's say they buy a Panda at $45, but then they go to sell that coin at their local coin shop, and they only get a few dollars over spot, and that's because they're not selling properly. There's no wrong way to buy, but there are wrong ways to sell. Selling is a very serious task. You have to know which coins to sell where. You can't sell all your coins at one place. You got to know which coins, whether it's a high premium semi-numismatic coin or it's just standard bullion. You can't sell both of those at the same place, or you won't get the money back that you paid on the premium. So and that kind of can incorporate into waiting for the price to go higher to get a bigger bang for your buck. But regardless, people lose money a lot of different ways stacking silver. If they would just buy it, throw it in their safe, and just hold on to it for a decade or two, they'll be fine. But a lot of people are not that patient. So anyways, yeah, what do you think about this? Do you think that the fake stackers have a chance? Everyone, especially the beginners, it's okay if you're a beginner and you're anxious, or you're worried right now, or maybe you don't understand the markets completely, that's fine. Maybe even you sell a little bit, but then you get back in a couple months because you're still watching my videos, or maybe in a year from now or whatever. That's normal. I feel like in the beginning a lot of us felt that way, and I think that's just part of experiencing your strategy. You know, you have to make mistakes. You can't beat yourself up, but it's the ones that got into it for the wrong reason, or the ones that have more of I don't even know what I can't even explain it. Do you know what I mean though? I mean, like when I got in, there's times when I sold my silver because like I was young and I just didn't understand, and maybe I was spending way too much out of my paycheck because I was so addicted to silver, and then my car bill was due and I didn't have money saved from my check, so I had to sell some. You know, that type of stuff's fine, but it's the ones that are more serious into it, looking at it from more of an analytical point of view, like selling the silver, going back into stocks because they are saying, you know, silver's a bearish market. It's not so much the inexperience from someone just trying to get into the market. It's more of I don't know. I hope you guys understand what I mean. I don't really know how to word it properly, but yeah, that's the type of investor that worries me, and that's the one that I think is just really just fake, right? They're in it for the wrong reasons, and true silver stackers would never look at $19.22 and consider selling. We would be considered buying, right? Right? We would consider buy. I mean, that's the perfect entry point. So, anyways, yeah. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you stuck around this long, then I'm gonna offer you to subscribe. I'm never going to offer you to subscribe in the beginning of the video because I haven't offered you any content yet. You don't know if you're going to like the video. You don't know about the video. I'm not just going to say, hey, subscribe without you having a single clue about what my channel's like or what you're about to subscribe to. But now that you have seen a little bit, if you want to subscribe, you can. I post lots of different types of videos. I do giveaways. I do unboxings. I do stacking strategy videos. I do videos like this, updating you. I do it all over here, folks. And also make sure to go check out this bar on Thursday if you want to get a 5 gram gold Volcambi bar at spot price. I also just unboxed one, actually, if you want to go check out my most recent unboxing video. Got one last thing to say. I want to take a second to give a shout out to my channel sponsor, BullionMax.com. I'm honored to be working with one of the best bullion dealers online. Great prices, great deals, and by far the best packaging out of any company that I've ever seen. They even offer a silver starter kit, which is 5 ounces of silver at below employee pricing, with extremely high premium coins for a great deal. It's only one per household, but a great way to lower your dollar per ounce average a bit and get a chance to grab some great coins. So shout out to Bullion Max, such a great company, always sending me silver to give away to my subscribers as well. BullionMax.com, and if you want the starter kit, go to BullionMax.com/SilverSlayer.